Gentlemen of the press, you are welcome to this signing of the English officer. Deputy Governor and the Chief of Staff of the Sani may wish to witness the signing.
As you're aware, since after our NEC meeting, virtually all the governors across the 36 states of the Federation have raised concern about the issue of financial inclusion, virtually in most part of the country. Most of us in the Northwest and some part of northern Nigeria have raised more concern on the issue. And because of my background as someone who have been agitating and championing the agitation for financial inclusion in Nigeria, knowing fully that about 75% of the rural population, particularly in Northwest, are financially excluded in our own country. And if you have listened carefully to the position of some of us after the NEC meeting, we came out clearly and insisted that any attempt to transfer money to people that are vulnerable in our own society at this critical time will mean at least disenfranchising some people who certainly are supposed to be captured, and we have no doubt in our minds that are actually the people that are supposed to be targeted as the poor, underserved within our own society. As a result of that, here in Kaduna, I have decided, together with my own team, to move forward and be very proactive in our effort to ensure that at least 1 million underserved, vulnerable, and poor within our rural communities in Kaduna State are financially involved by making sure that we open accounts for them. I also want to stress it here that as the former chairman, Senate Committee on Banking and Financial Institutions for 4 years in Nigeria, I have the statistics, which was also confirmed by the World Bank, that about 70 to 70% of our rural population are financially excluded. Because of that, here in Kaduna, we have decided to inaugurate a very strong team of some of our advisors that are going to work closely with some critical stakeholders, financial technology companies, fintechs, banks, to ensure that the vulnerable people within our own society in the rural areas are captured, and we ensure that we open account for them in the next 1 year, at least 1 million people. In the last 5 years, precisely, billions of naira was transferred to the vulnerable within our own country by the previous government. But I want to make it clear to all of you here that a lot of people that are supposed to benefit from that transfer did not get it. And for me, that is why at this critical time, I believe a lot of vulnerable and poor within our own society are still facing serious poverty in our own society, particularly in northern part of Nigeria. And I hope and believe by the grace of God, this will be the only way for our underserved, vulnerable and poor to be involved in the affairs of government and also to benefit from government support in the near future. I can assure you that already this meeting or this press statement or press is just about the issue of financial inclusion, but the area of making sure that the vulnerable within our own states have been taken care of in terms of fuel subsidy, we've gone far. We are the first state in Nigeria that have had a meeting with organized labor here in my office. We have come with the templates, and I can tell you clearly that we are already implementing what we've discussed with the organized labor. Of course, we have farmers, and we have decided to also try to subsidize fertilizer. We are also working to ensure that we distribute food items to the poor. We are also looking at the issue of transportation. So, State government, these are some of the steps we have already planned, and we have started implementing them. And in the next 2 weeks or so, I have no doubt in my mind, all those critical stakeholders will come together and address the media on what we have done and how we intend to continue implementing those kind of interventions. And at this juncture, I would like to also thank President Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for listening to the agitation of some very important stakeholders within our country to put on hold the distribution of $800 million loan from the World Bank that's supposed to be transferred to the vulnerable people within the country, because we believe that is a very important decision. I would like to especially commend Mr. President for putting that transfer on hold until we are able to capture the right people. Because if we don't do that, the monies will go to the wrong people, not the actual vulnerable people within our society.